this video, we have some new additions to my personal collection, some books that I am very, very excited to add to my collection. I'm excited to share them with you here today. These are books that have come through in collections that I just could not bring myself to sell, and some interesting points of conversation around all of them. But before we hop into it, we have some giveaway announcements. We have Spider-Man #1 Gold Edition, Todd McFarlane. Spidey, congratulations to this guy. You won that book for the month of September. And congratulations to this guy. You won Venom #3 and a 9.8, the first appearance of Noel. And we have some brand new giveaways for the month of October. If you subscribe, comment, and like this video, you're entered to win the first appearance of Silk in a 9.8 plus an additional slab. And over at brycecomics.com, if you sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win the first appearance of Erica Slaughter in Something That's Killing the Children #1, first print, Jenny Friesen edition, and an additional slab. And speaking of the website, we have about 300 new slabs coming this week if you're watching the video the day it comes out, and some awesome stuff. I see people are already jumping on this Batman run. There's some awesome Batman books and also some X-Men books. We had a House of Secrets that went instantly. Showcase 22, a very, very nice presenting 4.5. First appearance of Doctor Doom, tons of Grails, and all the Grails coming, if not this week, next week. Amazing Fantasy 15, Hulk 1, ASM 1, you name it. So if you're interested in doing a trade, get your list ready to go and have it ready to go, so you could just click send if you want to send a trade offer, because these books do go quick. Look at that Iron Man 1 in a 9.6 white, some 9.8 Spideys, and it just keeps coming, folks. Tons and tons of awesome stuff and more awesome stuff on the way. So let's hop into these books. The first new addition to my personal collection. Also, I want to say I am probably going to have another Whatnot show this Friday. So there's a link down in the description. If you're new to Whatnot, you can get $15 towards your first purchase for anything on Whatnot. And we're going to do $1 starts on slabs. Deadpool #45 in a 9.8. This is a 1 in 50 retailer incentive by Scotty Young. It's a Run the Jewels homage, and it's the last issue in the series. It has more pages than a normal comic book. It's an almost all black front cover and an almost all black back ad. All of those things combining make this book very difficult to find in high grade, and also it was a low print count. So when that came through, I absolutely had to keep it. The only thing that would make it better is if it was signed and sketched by Scotty Young, but I don't have the balls to do it. You guys that do all of this CGC submissions where you're cracking out these fragile, very delicate 9.8s and you're sending it to the dogs at CGC to handle them, and then the artist has to actually handle it and sketch it. I don't have the balls to do it. You guys are more brave than me. I just couldn't risk damaging a book like that. Next up, we have a very interesting one. Marvel Collectibles Classic Spider-Man #2. Now, this is not to be confused with Marvel Collectibles Classic Spider-Man #1, which reprints Amazing Spider-Man #300, and #2 reprints Spider-Man #1. But don't let that get in the way of this awesome book. There's actually no issue number even on the cover, so it doesn't matter. The only thing is on the label. But as you can see, the front cover and the back cover homaging Spider-Man #1 from 1990 and Spider-Man #13. And this is a book that over here on Recalled Comics, it says that I absolutely love this website, by the way, recalledcomics.com. Tons of awesome information and really cool info like this. And it says right here, sources reporting there were 7,500 copies produced. Now, I'm curious about how this was originally distributed. I would assume that it was something that Diamond had as just like a special offering, like an extra premium on the book. Maybe you can order it for $10 or something, or maybe it was like a one per store type of thing. It wouldn't have been a one per store if it was 7,500. It was probably an order all you want. Maybe it got allocated. If you know more about this and were selling comics back when this was distributed in 1998, drop a comment down below. I'm curious about it, but not that it matters that much. I just love the cover. It's just an awesome book. It's a chromium wraparound cover, so it's got like a embossed texture and super shiny and awesome goodness. One of the things that I like about this website is it has census numbers at a point in time. So back in 2017, there was 429 gradings on the CGC census with 5 9.9s and 5 10s. And if we come over and look at the census today, there are 773 total copies on the census. So almost twice as many copies on the census, not quite, since 2017. So in the past 8 years, which is just interesting to me to think about books on the census, not just this one, but how many copies are out there, because the census across the board is just slowly growing. And I'm just curious, how that all shakes out with supply and demand and values of books. But if you look at, there's been no new 10s in the last 8 years. There's still 5. There has been 5 new 9.9s in the last 8 years. Again, just interesting. But as far as supply and demand, if you look at the prices of this, it is strong. I mean, this book has performed very well over the years, and trading now at around $800. I just could not bring myself to sell it. Next on the list, we have another shiny foil. Venom Lethal Protector #1, not a rare book by any means, but it is more rare when you add all of these signatures, signed and sketched by Sam De La Rosa. So first and foremost, Sam De La Rosa right there, front and center underneath the trade dress Venom. And he put this sketch on here, this fluorescent pink around his eyes and the dripping pink blood off of his claws. Chef's kiss, absolutely love it. Also signed by Mark Bagley, David Micheline, and then you have to flip it over on the back to see the other signatures on the label. Al Milgram and Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane and the sketch was what sealed the deal for this one with me, and the label, the custom label, just really making this book pop. The only thing that would make it better is signed by Stan Lee. Obviously, you can't add that now, but if one comes through with a sketch that's that cool, I would definitely upgrade to that. This next one is very interesting. Fantastic Four #29, signed by Stan Lee in a 7.5. This is from 1964, and it's the first full cover appearance of The Watcher. And the reason I kept this is because I am absolutely fascinated with the character of The Watcher in Marvel Comics. And I'm doing some personal research to see if there's anything interesting or anything that could potentially tie together The Watcher, Bob Lazar's Area 51 documentary about aliens. The Watcher is an alien. And the Book of Enoch, which is a religious text. All right. So I'm doing some personal research. If I find anything interesting, I'll make a separate video on that. And if not, I may end up selling this book if I just say, oh, it wasn't as interesting as I thought it was. But I do love The Watcher, and so happy to add that to the collection. I'm a huge Stan Lee Signature Series fan. And last but certainly not least, something you don't see every day, Ghost Rider #1 in a 9.4 with white pages. This is the 1967 version of Ghost Rider from Marvel Comics, but it's a Western comic featuring the first appearance of Carter Slade. And I just love this cover here. It says, another fantastic far out first from Mighty Marvel. 1967, baby. A far out first from Mighty Marvel. The origin of the Ghost Rider. Thrill to the sight of battling Spectre versus blazing six guns. Gasp at the uncanny power of the Frontier Phantom. Crack, crack, crack. And just look at the colors on this thing. I mean, they are just dripping red. It just looks wet. And look at those blacks. I mean, it just looks wet, like it just rolled off the press. I happen to know that this came out of a collection that was not bagged and boarded and tons of super high grade, even some 9.8 12 centers with just beautiful colors and white pages. And it's just beyond me how these maintained white pages the way that they were stored. But nevertheless, here we are. And this is a book that there's only one grade higher. I don't know how many in that grade, but 9.6 is the highest grade for this book. And just an absolute beauty. Could not bring myself to sell it I think it's worth around $3,000, but it just brings me so much joy when I see it. And that's what I go for in all of these things is, number one, does it bring me joy when I look at it? And all of these, absolutely, I just will not get tired of looking at them. Two, is there any potential upside for value? And at this point in the market, I think pretty much anything has potential upside value if you buy at today's prices. So that box is easily checked. But also, these are highly collectible, and so even more so for potential future value. And is it rare? I do like to have rare stuff in my collection. I'm just, so if it's not a rare book, it's just something special about that copy that makes it rare. It could be who you bought it from. It could be the way it was distributed, or a certain version, or a certain sketch or signature. So those are the type of things I look for, but to each their own. I mean, there are so many comics to choose from and so many different ways to collect comics. The only correct way to do it is if you're having a good time, and we're having a good time. Dusty Slay, shout out. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. Don't forget those 2 giveaways. Subscribe, comment, and like. You're entered to win these 2 amazing 9.8 slabs. And sign up for that newsletter at brycecomics.com. Tons of awesome stuff coming this week and next week and the weeks to follow. If you're looking to sell, I will shoot you an offer and get you paid quick if you send me a list. brycecomics@gmail.com. Love you guys. Peace. Oh, and I forgot to mention that somebody is taking their sweet, sweet time paying off these books right here. Crow #1 in a 9.8 first print, and Bone #1 in a 9.6 first print. And I am absolutely okay with them taking as long as they want to pay that off. I just finally pulled them out. I mean, it's been like 6 months. And I'm like, I'm going to put these on the wall because I enjoy the heck out of those. Also, I'm going to take that off the wall. The Ghost Rider #1, that is a prize from the Bryce Comics trading pack, and nobody has claimed it, and I'm going to keep it. I'll keep it until I retire, but I just want to replace it on the wall. So it is still out there. There's a golden ticket for that has not been redeemed. Bye.